Okay, welcome everyone to our live assembly for the week, the 21st of January. Obviously, yesterday was a big announcement, and I just want to update you on the information we have. Kirsty Williams, the Education Minister, made the announcement, and this is what she said. She said, first, it is my intention that learners undertaking GCSE, AS and A-levels approved by Qualification Wales will have their qualifications awarded through a centre-determined model. So that is ASs, A-levels and GCSEs. No decision has been made on level 3 diplomas yet. Okay, so if you are studying criminology, we will await a decision on that. In terms of BTEC, we have no information on BTEC, but the BTECs that we do in school are not examined. There's no examination. So therefore, it is only AS and A levels at the moment that we have this information for. And what Kirsty Williams has said is that schools and colleges will be able to use a range of evidence to determine the grades to be awarded to their learners. So these will include any non-examination assessments. They can include mock exams, they can include classwork, or any assessments. And in addition, the WJC plans to offer schools a set of adapted past papers which schools can use to assess learning within their teaching plans. Okay, so they would like us to look at a range of evidence that we have, and that's the information that we're going to be able to do. Now, obviously, we only had this announcement yesterday, so we need to meet as a school to work out the best plan, and we will keep you informed in terms of that. So that's all the information schools and colleges have, and obviously we had this information yesterday. Now, if you check your emails, you'll see that Mrs. Robbins has already sent you a letter that has been produced by the Welsh Government, which gives you this information, and you can have a look through that and you can see all the information that the school has at this moment. Okay, now I've been really impressed with students engaging in blended learning, and I want just to remind everyone that we expect 100% attendance for live lessons, and if you're unable to attend a particular lesson, you must email me and your teachers in advance of the lesson. Okay, if you miss a lesson, all work must be caught up as soon as possible, and all recorded lessons will require students to complete work, and this work must be completed by the deadlines. Now, our senior student team has been working with our directors of learning to try and get a survey together to get feedback from you all on your experience of blended learning and distance working, and we really need your views. So you will have all received an email today. It was at 11:25 from Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Jones, who's our Director of Learning, has emailed you with a survey. Now I need you all to take a few minutes to complete this, because it is vital that we have your views, because we want you to have the best experience possible and we want to support you, and we need your views to do this. So please take the time to do this today. The survey will close at 3 p.m. on Monday, so I really want everyone to do it. I don't want just 10, 20, 30 views. I want the 300 views of the students that are in the sixth form, so we know what your experience is like and what we can improve, what's working well. This is why we want your views. So I just want to remind people, so in year 13, there is an extension to the UCAS deadline. I have mentioned this before. The deadline is the 29th of January. Now you have to bear in mind that it often takes people a few days to get their application form filled in. Teachers have to write references. You have to make decisions on where you're applying. Okay, and you will have to respond to feedback we give you on a personal statement. So our original UCAS deadline was back in November. We have supported students who didn't meet that deadline. We've managed to get forms sent off this week as well. But once we start getting into next week, you are risking your form not meeting that deadline. Now, if you don't meet the deadline, it doesn't mean the university won't make you an offer. It just means that they have no obligation to even consider your application. So for example, if they decide that a university decides they're not going to look at any applications after 29th of January, that's their decision and that's their prerogative. They don't have to do it because the deadline is the 29th of January and it is 6 p.m. on that day. Okay, now please don't rush to make decisions if you've had offers, because as I've said in previous assemblies, you've got to the 10th of June to decide if you've had all your offers, yeah, by the 20th of May. And if you haven't had all your offers by the 20th of May, you get till July to decide. So please don't rush. Don't rush just because the university makes an unconditional offer. Please look into the courses, make the right decision for you. Now, I have emailed all Year 13 students the link to the Student Finance presentation that's been put together by Student Finance Wales. It is a fantastic presentation. It's half an hour and it tells you everything you could possibly want to know about applying for student finance. Okay, we've even put it on our YouTube channel. So if you go on our YouTube channel, you'll find it straight away. Okay, so go on our YouTube channel, look at the videos there. It's there for you. It's produced by a guy called Philip Lyons, who is in charge of student finance. Yeah, and he has put this together and it is a brilliant presentation. So please look at that. We will also be planning to put on a webinar for you where we'll get one of the universities, probably Cardiff Met, to do a webinar for students and parents. And the advantage of having a university to do this is you've already got this student finance presentation from Student Finance Wales, but you'll also get a university spin on it by having them talk, and they'll be able to talk about additional support such as bursaries and scholarships that you might be able to apply for at various universities. Now, there are lots of events taking place over the next few weeks and months. Now, Year 12 and Year 13 will be interested in this. UK University and Apprenticeship Search, they put on careers fairs, and all the way through lockdown they put on virtual ones, and their next virtual careers fair is on the 27th of January. It looks amazing. It runs from 12 till 6. I've sent you the link. It will have a range of companies and universities offering all sorts of advice and presentations. And the good thing about UK University Search is that they record these presentations as well on their website, but I think it's an excellent opportunity. So if you don't have live lessons on that day, it's really worth checking out this. And if they've got their full program published, and we urge you to attend that. Now, another event that they're involved in is Year 13 will remember that last year we took a trip to the NEC for What Careers and What University Live. And we've taken students every year. And even last year we took students. It was the last trip we were able to offer before lockdown. And this year it's going to be a virtual event. Every university will probably attend that event. They have done previously, but also major companies offering apprenticeships and school leavers programs will be there at the event. Now, I just want to remind you, as we're just early on in this assembly, that the chat facility is open and Miss Jones is monitoring that. So if you've got any questions about anything in this assembly, whether it's the decision yesterday or opportunities that I've mentioned, just please put them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. So this What Careers Live event is really useful if you're somebody that's thinking, well, actually, what's my pathway? Am I going to go to university? Am I going to look at apprenticeship? Yeah, it's worth checking out this event. It's a 2-day event and you can apply now and you can get your free tickets to the event. Now, there is another event taking place on the 10th of Feb, and that is a Meet the Russell Group virtual experience day, and that's in partnership with UK University Search. So it'll basically be a whole day of talks from Russell Group universities. Now, the Russell Group is a group of 24 universities, and they tend to be research orientated universities. So universities like Bristol, Cardiff, Oxford, Cambridge, Nottingham, etc., Manchester, and they're universities that formed a group. They call the Russell Group because their first meeting was held in Russell Square in London. That's why they call that group. Now, it's not the top 24 universities in the UK, but because there are many universities that are really good universities that have chosen not to be part of the Russell Group. So, for example, Bath is one such university. It's a top uni, but it's not part of the Russell Group. but it is a group of universities that many of you will be interested in. So that event is taking place on the 10th of Feb. Now, I've also emailed this. If you are applying to Oxford and Cambridge, please do not miss this event. This is the event to help you with applications. It is a conference put on, it's the only conference that Oxford and Cambridge put on jointly, and there'll be opportunities to attend lots of talks, helping you with admission tests, personal statements, choosing colleges, choosing courses, also interviews, everything. So please do not miss this. It's virtual this year, and they're running these events from the 15th to the 26th of March. Please check your emails for this. There are lots of online taster courses taking place for Year 12 and Year 13 students. This is just one event that is taking place today. It's a computing session. Always worth checking out University of Wales, Trinity St David's, because they offer such a wealth of taster courses. So have a look at them. Look at the ones that USW are offering. Look at the ones that Swansea are offering and other universities. And if you are looking for these sort of things, I often find these via the Twitter websites of the universities, but also by looking at websites such as universitytasters.com, and you can find that off the UCAS website. Okay, it's called universitytasterdays.com, unitasterdays.com, and if you check your emails, I've already sent emails about this. Here's another example of a great taster course taking place. Obviously, we missed the session on the 30th of January, but there's another session on the 17th of Feb. Great for people who are interested in creative courses, and it will be a taster session on fine art. And this is useful because not only does it give you an idea of the sorts of courses available, it also gives you great material for personal statements as well, to show that you've explored different careers and pathways. Now, Corpus Christi have announced that they're running law residential workshops. So if you're interested in law and you're thinking maybe of going to selective universities such as Oxford, this might be a good event to attend. So please check your emails from that. And I've emailed you about these. So they're running these workshops in March. So again, another good opportunity. Oxford and Cambridge are offering lots of great opportunities for Year 12 students at the moment. And I have mentioned this one before. This is just an example of an opportunity. This is an Asian and Middle Eastern Studies taster workshop, and universities very much now are looking to give you a taster of courses that you might not be familiar with, because very often people don't do research and don't know what's out there. And this is a course that Cambridge offer, and it gives you a chance to explore this. And lots of universities will be offering taster courses to try and tempt you into applying for these courses that you may not have thought about. Now, I always recommend students in Year 12 and Year 13 think about applying for some of the competitions that are taking place. And lots of universities will have competitions where they can be anything from essay writing competitions to technology competitions. Last year, a number of our students took part in architecture and art competitions. So these are out there and they're great. This one is an example. It's an Oxford scientist competition I've emailed out, and it's a 700-word article. And this will look great on a personal statement if you were a finalist in this, or you were recommended, or you were won an award. And we've had lots of students who've taken part in these competitions, and they've received letters of recommendation, which are great for their CV and great for personal statements and great for their academic profile. Now, lots of students in Year 13 are looking for apprenticeships at the moment, and I have been searching for apprenticeship opportunities to give you a range of opportunities that are available. Now, they are going to be advertised over the next few months. This is one you may not have seen. Yeah, Amy is a civil engineering company, and they offer degree apprenticeships, and they are based in Bristol. So this is very near, and they partnered with Coventry University to offer civil engineering degree apprenticeships, and this will allow you to be paid a salary while you study your degree. So they're going to pay you £18,000 a year, and they're going to pay for your degree, and it's fully funded for 5 years. So these opportunities are out there in a range of different career sectors. So please check your emails for this. Now, I've mentioned M&S before. They have retail management apprenticeships, and this is a level 4 apprenticeship. So this is above the level you're doing at the moment. You're studying A-levels and BTECs and level 3 diplomas. This is level 4. Once again, they pay you a competitive starting salary, and you will get a qualification, your retail management apprenticeship, while you earn. So this is 18,000 to 20,000, and the deadline is the 17th of Feb, so check your emails for that. And it is good for people interested in fashion or management or business. Lots of different roles available for this management apprenticeship. Now, I mentioned CGI before. CGI are one of the biggest companies in Wales. They have lots of opportunities for people interested in IT and business and technology. They are offering a degree apprenticeship in conjunction with Swansea University. You have to apply by the 25th of Jan, so please check your emails for this. If you're a year 13 student looking for a degree apprenticeship and you study business and IT, and you're interested in that profession, please look at these sorts of opportunities because they're great to apply for. And you can apply for these in addition to applying through UCAS. You know, lots of students will apply for UCAS, they'll apply for apprenticeships, and they'll make a decision later in the year what they want to pursue. It's good to have lots of options. Now, another company offering school leavers and apprenticeship programs, okay, is Mace, and they're offering project management apprenticeships, and they will give you a 5-year program which pays for your degree. You will have a degree, a BSc at the end. You will also be a member of the Chartered Surveyors Institute, and there's a lot of people that are interested in surveying, and they've applied for through UCAS for this. This might be another avenue that you could apply for as well. The deadline is the 31st of Jan. And the role would be based in Bristol, so you would, you could live at home and commute. This is an opportunity to get paid while you study. I previously mentioned the Bright Start apprenticeship schemes that Deloitte have. Again, to give you an idea, you would need 104 UCAS points to apply for this. Now, if you get a distinction in a BTEC, that's worth 48 points. That's equivalent to an A grade. A distinction star is 56. A B at A level is worth 40. A merit or a C at A level is worth 32 points. So you can see that 104 UCAS points is around about 2 C's and a B. Okay, so that's the sort of level you should be aiming for that. And you need 5 GCSEs and a B in mathematics to apply for the Deloitte scheme. Lots of virtual work experience programs that I've been emailing about. So this is by young professionals. It is in half term, 9 AM till 4 PM. It's 3 days, and it's an opportunity to engage and undertake virtual work experience and go to webinars with some of the UK's biggest companies. BP, GSK, the biggest, science and pharmaceutical company, one of the biggest in the world. Yeah, CGI, EY, Vodafone, Marks and Spencer's, PwC, IBM, HSBC. So they will give you lots of support, and you get a certificate for taking part. And again, you're networking and building up contacts. So please look at my emails about this. I've also mentioned other Insight Days, such as the M&S one, which is taking place on the 28th of Jan, which is a great opportunity to find out about apprenticeship opportunities and management opportunities and the different sectors where they offer jobs. And even if you're someone that's thinking, well, I'm going to do a degree, I know that's what I want to do. Remember that big companies such as M&S and HSBC and IBM, they're looking for graduates. So once you finish the degree, it's good to have an idea of the sort of opportunities that are out there for working for some of these UK big companies. HSBC are offering work experience live at the moment, and that is taking place. You've got to basically, it's in the summer, but you've got to apply by the 21st of Feb. So again, if you're interested in that, make a note, of it, make a note of the deadline day, check your emails and start applying. Now, I've also mentioned previously about BT. Lots of our students have undertaken apprenticeships after leaving us for BT. Again, one of the UK's biggest companies. They're holding a virtual open evening on the 8th of Feb and the 23rd of Feb, where you can learn about all the different opportunities they offer. So you might be interested in engineering, cyber security. You might be interested in IT, customer service, a whole range of opportunities. Please don't miss out on this event. Now, if you're a year 12 or you're a year 13 student, we encourage you to explore your subject beyond what you study in school. Year 12 students will be looking at courses they may want to study at university, and the only way you're going to find out if that's right for you is if you explore the subject. If I wanted to know if history was going to be right for me as a degree, yes, I get a good indication if I like history from studying A-level history, but if I really want to explore it, I look into what I would study on an undergraduate course. I would look at what universities would cover. I'd explore my subject. And a good way to do this is to look at websites such as Staircase 12. Now, Staircase 12 have lots of great suggestions for wider reading. They have a resources hub full of lectures and podcasts, and these are great for developing your knowledge. They're also great for writing personal statements and letters of application for opportunities, because they show that you have an interest in a subject beyond what you are having to study as part of a syllabus. Now, lots of you have been attending the RADA webinars. Our university partners are also organising their own events, and I just want to highlight some webinars that Swansea are putting on. Now, we have a really good ties to Swansea and Cardiff Uni and USW and all the Welsh unis, in fact, and they are putting an event, a series of webinars that are free to join. I've sent you an email about it. Here are some upcoming ones. They have 2 pharmacy lectures taking place, so if you're interested in science and you want to explore what it'd be like to be a pharmacist, these are great for giving you material for personal statements and letters of application. If you're interested in the media and journalism, there's a great free lecture taking place on the 27th of Jan. Please check your emails. I sent you this yesterday. So this is all about COVID and have organisations being able to ensure news coverage is balanced. So this is really useful for anybody interested in the media or communications, you know, and politics as well. If you're interested in politics and current affairs, this would be a very interesting thing to attend. If you're interested in business and economics, we have a talk about the economics behind educational decisions. So this is a really, really interesting talk that's taking place on the 29th. And as students, you're obviously experiencing what it's like to be in education. So this is really accessible to you as a lecture, because it's all about the economics that lies behind educational decisions. So I think this would be really useful for students interested in humanities, business, economics, sociology, etc. Now, I just need to remind you that if you're a year 12 student applying for the Serin Jesus College opportunities, either the residential one where there's 75 places or the international one, the deadline is the 29th of January. You'll need to nominate a teacher to do your reference, and your referees will be contacted after the application date. Now, there are 75 places for the Jesus College residential summer school. If COVID restrictions don't ease, this will be virtual, and there is a widening participation aspect to this. So if, for example, there are 2 students with identical sort of academic profiles, and one student comes from an area where there is low participation at university or Oxford or Cambridge, then the person from this area will get the place, because universities are required to provide opportunities to support students from areas where not many people go to Oxford and Cambridge or go to university. So you've got to be aware of that, but nothing stops you applying for this. Now, the other opportunity, where there's 300 places, is not subjected to that. So that will be, it'll be easier to get on that one. However, I do not want to put people off applying for the residential course if that's what they want to do. So this has 300 places, and it is a virtual summer school. It's online, and there are speakers from Yale, from Oxford, from Cambridge, from MIT. Yeah, and it'll be a fantastic event. So once again, that is the same deadline. Now, if you're interested in applying for this, Jesus College are running a session, I think it is tonight. I've emailed you all about it. So Serin students will have had that. This is a Serin opportunity. Okay, now we are running our own webinars. This morning I booked another webinar which is taking place in February for our history students. So if you study history, and we've got a masterclass lined up for you in February. I've also booked another masterclass for students interested in healthcare. We have a fantastic webinar coming up in the end of January on that, and I'll email out details to you. Now, this is taking place tonight. We're very lucky to have one of Wales's most up-and-coming scientists, Dr. Emma Wynell. Now, she is giving a talk about what it's like to do research in science, and she does some fascinating work into Huntington's disease, and she is a top neuroscientist. So if you're interested in medicine or healthcare or biomedical science, or just want to find out what it would be like to study sciences for a degree and then go on and become a research scientist, please don't miss out on this. You know, Emma was recently nominated. Wales Online did an article on, they considered 5 most up-and-coming female scientists in Wales, and Emma was nominated for this, and her work is fantastic. So please don't miss this opportunity. She does huge amounts of engagement work and is a fantastic speaker. And you know, you can look at her work on TED Talks and talks that she's done for Cardiff University Science in Health programme. It will be a brilliant talk. Please don't miss out on this tonight. Now, other talks that we have lined up, we have a fantastic geography taster course taking place in Feb. And we're lucky to get Karen Lucas, a professor of geography at Manchester, giving you a taster lecture and speaking about geography courses and careers. And we also have this brilliant talk taking place in March from the Welsh Ambulance Service, which we're talking about all the different careers that exist in the Welsh Ambulance Service, you know, one of Wales's major employers. And it's not just sort of medicine careers and paramedic careers, it's also, you know, the people that do all the IT and the technology. They'll talk about the whole range of different careers, the management side of it as well. But they will also do a focus on what it's like to be a paramedic and also the training involved. So if you're a medic or you're applying for nursing, it's really important you understand the role of other health care members. Yeah, so if you need to know what a paramedic does, you need to know the role of a pharmacist, you need to know the role of a nurse. You need to understand how everyone fits into the healthcare system. So please, if you're studying medicine or you're keen to study medicine or nursing or anything healthcare, please make every effort to attend this talk. Now that's everything from me. So I'm going to go over to Miss Jones now to see what the chat and the Q&A is, to see if there's any questions. And Miss Jones also wants to talk to you about the Welsh Back.
Yeah, there's nothing else in the live chat at the minute, but if there's anything, just pop it in there. 1 second, sorry, let me just turn my sound off because I can hear myself repeating back. So I just wanted to quickly talk to you about Welsh Back as well, particularly for Year 13. Now, Year 13 will know that we're returning back to the individual projects in order to really get the best mark that we can out of this piece of work, as you'll well know, it's obviously worth 50% of the overall qualification, so it's really, really important. Now, lots of you in Year 13 are doing a really good job of sending your teachers your work regularly, of looking at all of there's such a wealth of resources that Miss Willis has put together, both video and kind of in written form. So you've got a nice mixture of material there. And what you need to be doing is obviously reviewing that material alongside the specific parts of your project that you're being asked to look at week after week, trying to improve it yourself, so using your independent skills, and then after doing that, forwarding it to your teacher so that they can give you feedback and kind of current bands or ideas of where your marks lay week on week. Okay, so it's just really just a plea with Year 13 to make sure that you're on top of this, because we're helping you to micromanage it so that it's not a big scary thing and you have to return to the whole 5,000 words in one go. If you just follow our plan, we're making it very kind of like easy and manageable for you by just looking at different learning objectives, distinct sections of your project, and just dealing with them one by one before moving on to the next one. Okay, so please stick with us for that plan. Make sure you're attending the live lessons with your Welsh Back teachers and reviewing all of the pre-recorded lessons and live lessons that Miss Willis has recorded where she's gone through the different LOs as well. Okay, that's super, super important. And I know I've already said this to my class, and I know Miss Willis has already said it on the video, but just that reminder of, you know, you need to be putting the time into it before you send it to your teachers. Otherwise, you're just going to be limiting the quality of feedback you get back from us. Okay, you kind of sort out the simple stuff, you proofread it, you make sure you know, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, and that everything makes sense. And then that allows us to give you better quality feedback on the content and on the criteria. If you're just being littered with kind of simple mistakes you could have figured out yourself, then that's going to kind of take up the majority of our marking time. Okay, so just a reminder to kind of stay on top of that. And if you need any more support with your project, then obviously your Welsh Back teacher is your first port of call. Stay in regular contact with them on top of pre-recorded and live lessons. And if there's anything more general, then obviously contact Miss Willis. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you about that. And obviously you're 12 now. After we were praising you last week on your conference, just a reminder of your deadline this Friday as well to get that personal review written up and popped into your folders, the same folders as you popped your conference resources into last week. So remember, you've still got the links to those that were sent by your assessor last week in your email folders. So just click in there, drop it in, make sure it's labeled something clear like personal review, your first and your last name, and then that's all submitted so we can check that that's all come in by Friday. Okay, and then that's it for me, really.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Miss. Thanks everyone for coming. I will send everyone a link to this, and enjoy the rest of your week.